And when you get on your knee and you don't respect the American flag or the anthem, that's not being treated with respect.
President Trump responds to protests across the NFL amid the national anthem controversy, while fans and celebrities also speak out.
We are going to be collectively inspired by art that forces us to look in the face and say, this is who we are, and hopefully also say, like, but we don't have to stay here.
Kim Kardashian West opens up about her painful pregnancy with North and thinking she miscarried.
While Kylie Jenner flashes a bit of her baby bump on Instagram.
It's official. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle make their first public appearance together. Our royals expert tells us what this could mean for the happy couple.
And new fall TV is ramping up tonight. The stars of Young Sheldon tell us all about the Big Bang Theory spinoff.
You now get introduced to Mary Cooper at a different stage of her life.
Plus, comedian Bobby Moynihan gives us a sneak peek of his new show, Me, Myself, and I.
That is why, say it with me, Lakers fans are stupid.
Happy Monday, People.com and Facebook Live. Welcome to the show. Lots to get to today, starting with the NFL Trump controversy that everyone is talking about. Watch this.
We have great people representing our country, especially our soldiers, our first responders, and they should be treated with respect. And when you get on your knee and you don't respect the American flag or the anthem, that's not being treated with respect. I've never said anything about race. This has nothing to do with race or anything else. This has to do with respect for our country and respect for our flag.
That's President Donald Trump's latest response to Sunday's widespread NFL protests, where over 100 football players linked arms, knelt, or stayed in the locker room during the national anthem, a visually defiant moment in response to criticism from the president on Friday about similar protests started last year by former San Francisco 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Here's Trump's comment, which started the backlash.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell fired back at Trump Saturday with a statement reading in part, divisive comments like these demonstrate an unfortunate lack of respect for the NFL, our great game, and all of our players, and a failure to understand the overwhelming force for good our clubs and players represent in our communities. And on Sunday, it wasn't just NFL players putting up a united front protesting President Trump's controversial comments, but also Hollywood spoke out regarding the players' peaceful protests. Here's what Marshall stars Sterling K. Brown and Chadwick Boseman had to say.
I believe there are no coincidences. I think everything happens exactly in the timing in which it's supposed to. So I think over the next 4 years, we are going to be collectively inspired by art that forces us to look in the face and say, this is who we are, and hopefully also say, like, but we don't have to stay here, right? I believe that this president has sort of brought a lot of ugliness to the surface, to where a lot of us were content to push it down and act as if it doesn't exist. We can no longer remain silent.
Those players today are patriots for doing what they're doing. America is always born out of being revolutionary. That's what it's born out of. It's not born out of doing what people told you were supposed to do.
On Saturday night, music icon Stevie Wonder also made a statement following Trump's comments by taking 2 knees in solidarity at the Global Citizen Festival in New York City. Watch.
I'm taking a knee for America. But not just one knee. I'm taking both knees. Both knees in prayer for our planet, our future, our leaders of the world, and our globe. Amen.
Other celebrities shared their feelings about the NFL controversy on Twitter. Ellen DeGeneres tweeting, as a football fan, I am proud of the NFL players today. Nothing is more American than the right to peacefully protest. And Russell Simmons writing, the NFL must protect its heroes and not be intimidated by Trump's attacks. They must be loud, unapologetic, and forceful in their response. And actress Olivia Wilde speaking out saying, quote, "Sorry, but these players don't exist for the purpose of your convenient apathy. They're using their power to defend the powerless." And I was at the Jets-Dolphins game here in New York, and during the anthem, the players locked arms, a few players knelt. You could hear a lot of booing from the crowd at that moment and people yelling, "Stand up." Overall, not a huge moment, but definitely seeing mixed responses and those players standing in solidarity with the owners. All right, guys, in the 10 years since Keeping Up with the Kardashians premiered, fans of the famous family have watched as every aspect of their lives unfolded for the world to see, the good, the bad, and everything in between. On last night's 90-minute 10th anniversary special, Kris Jenner and her 5 daughters sat down with Ryan Seacrest to reflect on the last decade of their lives, including some of their toughest moments, like Kim's near miscarriage with her first child, Northwest. We've already seen on the show how tough Kim's pregnancies were on her, but she revealed last night just how bad things got while pregnant with her daughter, North, confessing that she was in so much pain at one point that she was, quote, pretty certain she was having a miscarriage. She went on to say, "I flew all the way home on Thanksgiving and the doctor told me there's no heartbeat, you had a miscarriage. Let's get through it, come in after Thanksgiving dinner." Then I went in that morning and he was like, "There's a heartbeat, you didn't have a miscarriage." And I was like, oh my God, this is a sign. Really crazy stuff there. Also on last night's episode, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick confirmed they are just co-parents to their 3 kids and that nothing romantic has happened between them in the last 2 years since their breakup. As for the Kardashians' hardest moment to have filmed over the past 10 years, Kris, Khloe, and Kylie all agreed, Caitlyn Jenner's transition. Now onto this. It took more than a year, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have made their first public appearance together, even if they were separated by a couple rows, and hey, we'll take what we can get. The actress showed her support for a royal boyfriend on Saturday at the opening ceremony of his Invictus Games in Toronto. It's a Paralympic-style sporting event for wounded service members from around the world, going on now until September 30th. Markle, who films the hit legal drama Suits in Toronto, wore a purple dress with a purple leather coat over her shoulders as she sat with friend Marcus Anderson. She was all smiles as she cheered on the athletes, stood with the rest of the crowd during the Canadian national anthem, and clapped as Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who was her acquaintance and a friend of Harry's, made his welcome address. Meanwhile, Prince Harry sat a few rows away next to First Lady Melania Trump, whom he met with earlier in the day as part of her first solo international trip. During their 20-minute meeting, they reportedly discussed the games, their families, and which team would come out ahead. Now, Toronto has become a special place for the couple in recent months. Harry made a secret detour from the Caribbean to spend time with Markle in her adopted hometown back in December, while the royal couple spent Easter weekend there as well. Now, just this Saturday, Prince Harry called Toronto a, quote, home away from home when he met with Governor General David Johnston. And coming up in just a couple of minutes, our chief foreign correspondent for People, Simon Perry, joins us live from the games in Toronto, where he'll give us the lowdown on Meghan and Harry's first public appearance and whether or not it may be a sign of a royal engagement. Stay tuned for that in just a little bit. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning.
You never know.
I think it's going to happen any day now.
I
Maybe
do
any
too.
week now.
We hope so. Fingers
yes,
crossed.
We do. Well, I have even more news. We're going from engagement news to possible baby news. We are kicking off Star Tracks with some updates from our Kardashian mom-to-be. Kylie Jenner is teasing the first signs of her baby bump. The Keeping Up with the Kardashian star, who's expecting her first child with boyfriend Travis Scott, shared a glimpse of her stomach in a happy birthday Instagram post with BFF Jordan Woods. In the photo, which was taken on Friday but uploaded on Sunday, Jenner rests her hand on her waist, slightly lifting up a baggy sweatshirt to expose some of her stomach. Jenner posted another photo on Sunday with several of her girlfriends. The group posed in all-white bathrobes for the camera, Jenner simply captioning the picture, "Mornings" with a smiley face. Well, just one day after sources confirmed the 20-year-old reality star will be expecting a baby girl, the lipstick mogul, who's due in February, snuck in backstage at the iHeartRadio Musical Festival to see her beau perform. The reality star covered up her baby bump with an oversized black t-shirt and brown plastic pants. Well, following Scott's performance, the rapper headed backstage, where he was spotted hugging Jenner before heading out to perform at a Las Vegas nightclub. Since news broke of Jenner's pregnancy, some members of her family have expressed concern. An insider tells People, Kylie is very naive. Spending time with other people's kids is obviously completely different than being a mom 24/7. Kylie, of course, has no idea about all the hard work and sleepless nights. The source goes on to explain how the family's concern over Kylie began when she was dating on-again, off-again boyfriend Tyga. The insider revealing, quote, "With Tyga, whenever things were good, Kylie said she wanted a baby. Between spending lots of time with her niece nieces and nephews and being around Tyga's son, 4-year-old King Cairo, she claimed she was ready. Her family would beg her to protect herself. They were very concerned. Although the Kar-Jenner clan believes Kylie is still too young for motherhood, another source adds they all want what's best, especially momager Kris Jenner, who was initially shocked by the news, but, quote, loves and supports her no matter what. Well, it's a big night for Monday Night Football. Of course, everyone will be watching to see if the Dallas Cowboys and Arizona Cardinals kneel during the anthem, but celeb football fans also can't wait for the matchup. Well, we talked to Kate Bosworth as the NFL season began about her love for the Cowboys and her epic time going to practice with the team. Take a look.
The fan is here. Here we go.
I was
Dallas
wondering
you
when
saw
this
this across
was
the
gonna come
studio.
out.
There it is. Dallas Cowboys
Won't fit
fan
on
to
my-
the core. I saw on your Instagram you post meeting Des Bryant. You guys go way back, I guess.
Way back.
Way back. What's
Way
the
back.
story? What's your love for what's at the center of your
Wait,
love for the
first of all,
Cowboys?
you have to throw out the X.
Okay. Yep. Do it.
Throw out the X.
Boom.
I'm just a massive Cowboys fan. I am. I'm a massive football fan. You know, my father and I would watch football ever since I was very small, and I just love it. I love the game, and the Cowboys. They're my team.
Well,
and I mean, Des is just he's
He's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
I went to their practice actually recently in Oxnard. They practiced in Oxnard, and we drove and saw them, and he made the most amazing play, and so they're gonna watch out for them this year. Guys.
Watch out, guys. There's a prediction.
Well, we are excited to see that lineup. All right, guys, this week finally marks the return of fall TV, from NBC's This Is Us to ABC's popular TGIT lineup. But besides our familiar favorites, there are a few newcomers to add to the list, like The Big Bang Theory's spin-off Young Sheldon. The new sitcom premieres tonight with a special preview episode following The Big Bang Theory. The show stars familiar faces like Big Little Lies breakout star Ian Armitage, as well as Scandal's Zoe Perry. We have the chance to chat with Zoe about the big role and what it was like playing the younger version of her real-life mom, Lori Metcalf. Watch.
I feel very lucky to be in this position. She's been very supportive the whole time, and I mean, I guess what I can say about it is I have some things working for me on my side in terms of my voice and some mannerisms that audiences might be familiar with that are just weirdly enough at my disposal. And but what's so cool about this particular project is having gotten to see as they aired all of the Mary Cooper scenes that I just love and think she's remarkable in. We now get introduced to Mary Cooper at a different stage of her life. So it's a Mary Cooper that maybe audiences aren't as familiar with, and it gives me a lot of, space to kind of explore who she is.
Definitely can't wait to tune into that. And those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, guys, stay with us. This Is Us returns, and we have all the reasons why the show's resident heartthrob absolutely needs a nude scene in season 2. That's what they're saying. Plus, just how close are Meghan Markle and Prince Harry to making their relationship official? When is the prince going to put a ring on it? Our royals expert Simon Perry joins us live to give us all the details.
This is King Cutie in People. His Royal Highness Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge. These are George's parents, George's home, his Nana, the Queen, and his staff of 644 Englishmen. This is George's dog Lupo, who inspired his favorite book, The Adventures of the Royal Dog Lupo, one George will share now that he's a big brother. People. The details make the story. Don't miss this week's People.
Guys, ever since Prince Harry whisked girlfriend Meghan Markle away to Africa for her birthday in August, two questions have been on every royal watcher's mind. Is he about to propose, or has he already done so? Now that they've made their first public appearance in Toronto, we are just a tiny bit excited about any possibility of another royal wedding. People's chief foreign correspondent Simon Perry is with us live from the Invictus Games in Toronto to give us the scoop. Simon, thank you for joining us. I actually have a poll going to see when that engagement is going to happen. Hopefully you can help us narrow in on the dates. It's a big deal. We've finally seen Prince Harry and Meghan Markle make a public appearance at the same event. Even if they were a couple rows apart, tell us, how will we know for sure that the two are engaged?
Well, Jeremy, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it, if it happened here while we're all here with our cameras and so on. He just walked behind me into a building where he's making a speech today on mental health. But Yeah, on the big question, we'll know when the palace tell us. Basically, they'll make these announcements like they did for William and Kate in a very formal way once he's asked all the right people, I hope.
Very formal and official, that's how they do it. Let's go back to when Prince William and Kate Middleton shared their own engagement news in November 2010. Walk us through how that was announced, and do you expect that the engagement between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, it would follow a similar pattern, right?
I think it would, yes. He'll ask his grandmother, the Queen, if he can get married as well. He has to do that as sixth in line to the throne, or fifth in line to the throne, I mean. And yeah, they'll square it away with all their families and make the announcement very formally. If you remember, William and Kate posed in front of the cameras on that wonderful day back in November 2010, and that was the first people knew about it that morning at 11 o'clock when the announcement was put out.
And interestingly, you know, in this day and age, we can be the first to know if and when the whole engagement thing happens. They often put it on social media, don't they? That's kind of a part of the process at this point.
Yes, it is now. They would obviously add that in as well. But hopefully they'll be telling us journalists as well at the same time, so we'll all be able to bring the news directly to people simultaneously.
There you go. All right, so now back to the Invictus Games. What is Prince Harry up to today?
Well, as I said, he's just gone in, he's going to make a speech. He's highlighting the welfare of the mental health welfare of veterans and serving soldiers. But a little later, he's going to have some fun. Hopefully he's going to go see some tennis, wheelchair tennis. Yesterday he was doing some watching the athletics, but he's also been hanging out with the little children, as you're seeing there, in a fun, almost like a go-kart version of a Land Rover. So he's mixing fun with the formalities of his speech the other night at the opening ceremony, where of course we saw Meghan seated, his First Lady. He was sitting next to Melania Trump, but his own First Lady was 18 seats or so away. We saw in the crowd.
There we go. So yeah, he's obviously putting in the time there, doing a lot of great things. This is all for a great cause as him and his brother continue to do those types of things. Can we expect Meghan to make any more appearances this week?
Well, we're hoping so. We have they're not saying, so we'll keep an eye out. Maybe at the closing ceremony when Bruce Springsteen's going to be performing next Saturday. But let's hope they walk in together to an event like a sports event before then.
People Chief Foreign Correspondent Simon Perry, thank you so much for sharing all your insight and the crystal ball predictions for a possible engagement. We can't wait.
Thank you, Jeremy.
This is Jennifer Lawrence in People. This is Jennifer photobombing Taylor Swift and Sarah Jessica Parker and Liam Hemsworth, proving that while we all love the fashion of the red carpet, it's people who steal the show. People. The details make the story.
Whenever I hear this song, it makes me think of a girl.
Mommy?
No. No, Mommy's song is Psycho Killer.
Daddy, can I ask you something important?
Of course, Abby, you can talk to me about anything. I mean, unless it's lady stuff, because I am not ready for that yet.
Are you 100% positive that Michael Jordan was the best player ever?
Absolutely. I mean, why do you even have to ask?
Because kids at school are saying Kobe is better.
Okay, and that is why, say it with me, Lakers fans are stupid.
That's Bobby Moynihan and his new comedy, Me, Myself, and I, which premieres tonight at 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS. It's also our Toyota People Pick of the day. Well, the show is about the defining moments in one man's life at 3 distinct ages. We see him on the show living through each one of them. Moynihan plays 40-year-old father Alex Riley, while John Larroquette plays Alex at 65 years old, and Jack Dylan Grazer plays him at 14. So how did these three very different actors come together to believably portray one single character? Take a look.
We sat down in the beginning and kind of went over a couple little mannerisms and little things that we could do to connect, kind of have a connection between the character. And I've noticed I've been talking a lot deeper. John Larroquette has a very deep voice.
Kind of brings it down.
Yeah. Jack can't do that yet, but.
And this unique way of telling the story got us wondering if real-life Bobby could go back and give advice to his childhood self, and knowing everything that he knows now, what would he say? Watch.
Knowing what I know now, I would just say relax, everything's gonna be okay. Every one of your life dreams will come true and you'll be very happy.
Yeah.
This is Jennifer Aniston, who told people her beauty secret. It's called water. This is Julia Roberts, who confessed her $1 million beauty treatment. It's called sleep. This is Courtney, who escapes to the spa. And Michelle, who swears by good lighting. And this is Beyonce, who woke up like this. These are People's insider trading tips to beauty from the world's most beautiful. People. The details make the story. Don't miss this week's People.
Senator John McCain is opening up about the moment he was diagnosed with an aggressive, often deadly form of cancer. In an interview with CBS's 60 Minutes on Sunday, the Arizona senator described what it was like once doctors told him he had glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer. At the time, McCain was checking out a blood clot in his eye, explained to CBS how he repeatedly told his doctors to, quote, "tell it to me straight." After confirming the results via labs, doctors told the senator his prognosis was not bright. McCain revealing some say 3%, some say 14%. You know, it's a very poor prognosis, so I just said, I understand. Now we're going to do what we can, get the best doctors we can find, and do the best we can. And at the same time, celebrate with gratitude a life well lived. Since his diagnosis earlier this summer, McCain has already completed his first round of chemotherapy and returned to work at the Senate shortly after recovering from surgery for his blood clot, famously casting the deciding vote that ended an attempt to repeal and replace Obamacare back in July. Guys, coming up tomorrow, singer-songwriter Jason Derulo gives us all the details on his new fashion line, plus country stars Big and Rich talking romance and their signature party anthem, Save a Horse,
Ride a Cowboy.
There it is. It's hard to say it without singing it, honestly.
I know. Thank you so much for watching. They were really impressed that I knew every single word to that song, too.
And didn't you kind of rap with it?
I did.
It's unbelievable.
Yes. Well, thanks for watching. And now, since season 2 of This Is Us premieres tomorrow, we wanted to get you all ready and very excited with a few reasons why we think star Justin Hartley deserves a nude scene this season.
The votes are in, and they say, yes, he needs one.
Take a look. Enjoy.
Suits on?
Yes, ma'am.
Your birthday suit.
Only one I've got.
Do you want me to breastfeed you? No, please don't stop getting undressed on my account.
Hey.